Good afternoon or morning, depending on where you are in the world, to our Empowered to Change. Supposed to be Sunday, but it's a Saturday call today because we are ending the year and tomorrow is New Year's Eve. I hope you guys did amazing this year with whatever goals you set forth. I'm going to keep going through so I can mute some of you guys. So whatever goals you guys have set forth in the year, I hope you hit them or have come pretty close to hitting them. That's why we're doing the 12-week year, because we tried it for the first time in 2017, and I have to say, the Force Nation part of Empowered to Change has hit a lot of milestones. We've grown tremendously. And if you guys have ever done the 12-week year, I'm pretty sure you know that it works. It's not a new concept. It's something that's been out for a few years now, but it's new to us and we love it. We like it and we want to share it with you guys. I'm going to just give you a few, not slides, but I have my slides here on my phone. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of information regarding the concept of the 12-week year. Okay. So basically it's common knowledge that when you set goals for the new year, you kind of feel like you have the whole year to hit those goals, right? So what happens is we come to the end of the year, like the third quarter, and with 2-3 months to go, we're scrambling to get all those goals accomplished towards the end of the year because you feel like you have 12 months to reach those goals. So you don't rush. So with this concept of the 12-week year, instead of trying to reach your goals in 12 months, you're setting them to be achieved within 12 weeks. You see? So it's like when you give yourself small little goals in 4 different quarters, you're going to hit more goals towards the end of the year. So let's say that we each here have 3 goals every quarter, and we hit 1 goal out of those 3. At the end of the year, you've hit 4 of your goals, 4 of your main goals for your business, for your health, for your home, whatever it is. Even if it's something that, in your personal 9 to 5, something that you want to reach there, something with school, whatever it is. So what we like is 1 business-related goal, 1 health-related goal, and 1 personal goal. That personal goal can be with a relationship, with your family, with your 9 to 5. A lot of us are part-time coaches, and you have a 9 to 5, and you love your 9 to 5, and that's totally okay. So here we go. Let me get my handy dandy notebook and my notes. So most goals are reached whether in the last 2 months of the year. And that's because we have an idea that we have plenty of time. So there's no sense of urgency because 12 months is a pretty long time. Instead of working towards 12-month goals, which can seem a long, long way to go, setting these 12-week goals kind of makes you light fire under your ass, so to speak. You light a fire under your ass because you have 12 weeks, right? So what the 12-week year does is it organizes you. It forces you to organize yourself. And there's a plan. So if you guys download the audio, there's a ton of information that'll guide you step by step on how to plan and organize. And I also have a PDF, and it's a workbook. So that PDF workbook, I'm going to share with you guys from my Google Drive so that you guys can print this. If you buy the book, I'm pretty sure there's a link at the back of the book that you can go to the website and download this PDF yourself. But if you don't buy the book and you only download the audio, I'll share with you that PDF. Okay, guys? I have that available, and I actually have it saved right here. So I'll post that for you all. What I want to do, because it's better to understand the concept from the author. The author is Brian P. Moran and Michael Lennington. So I have a YouTube video. It's about 7 minutes long. And he's going to explain to you guys, and it'll be easier for you guys to actually understand that concept. So I'm going to share my screen with you. I have a YouTube video, if I can find it. Where are you? All right. Hello. Okay. What? I'm sorry, guys. This sucks. My MacBook is fairly new, so there's some things that I did not load yet. Okay, here we go.
Now, all of you have planned, but 12-week planning is very different than traditional planning in a couple of ways. The first is there's greater predictability. The further you plan in the future, the less certainty there is. You know that because you do financial planning with your clients, but it's true in any area. That's why annual plans and beyond tend to be very numbers-based. It's just very difficult to know what I should be doing 10, 11 months from now. But when we bring that horizon near term to 12 weeks, the predictability goes up exponentially. And that's why 12-week plans are not only numbers-based, but they're very activity-based, which is critical because we just talked about if you're going to create a different result, you're going to have to do things differently and do different things. Those are the tactics in the plan, if you will. The second thing that's different is there's greater focus. Most plans have too much in them. People start out the year overwhelmed. They go through the year diffused, right? You make a little bit of progress across a broad spectrum. That's a recipe for mediocrity. With the 12-week year, our approach is let's be great at a few things versus mediocre at many. And we can do that because you're not planning for 12 months, you're planning for 12 weeks. At the end of that, you're going to come back, you're going to stop the world. You're going to look at what worked, what didn't work, what's different in the marketplace, and you're going to reconnect with your vision, you're going to lock and load and go again for another 12 weeks. You know, when planning first made its way into business probably 60, 70 years ago, you could look out in the future 5, 6, 7 years and not a lot was going to change. That's not the case today. And yet most organizations, most individuals still plan the way they did 60 years ago. It's an annual event. If you want to be at your best, that has to change. And then finally, how the plan is structured. The only reason we plan is because it helps you implement. But there's a structure to it that makes it more implementable. That's probably not a word, but I think you know what I mean. So, and it starts with this notion of 12-week goals. And that is that longer-term vision brought near-term. Where do I need to be at the end of 12 weeks to be standing that vision? And this is where it starts to get a little uncomfortable because less is more. Less is more. And then we take each one of those goals and you build out the tactical plan. Those are the daily, weekly actions. That's really the engine of the plan, if you will. And not the long laundry list of everything you could do, but what we call the critical few. If you can do it in 5, you don't need 6. If you can do it in 6, you don't need 7. If it takes 12, it takes 12, but not one more. It's about the critical few. Now, most plans are conceptual. You can't execute concepts. You got to get tactical. So let me give you an example. Conceptual would be get referrals. When that shows up on my plan this week, what do I do with that? Tactical says ask for referrals at every open, present, and close. Do you see the difference? Huge, huge difference. So a little extra effort in the planning process pays great dividends on the execution side of things. So again, I'm going to give you some resources to help you do this, but just know this, that you need a focused tactical plan. The more focused that is, the more effective you're going to be. So my challenge to you is you have a plan like that, or is your plan in your head? So one study that said even if you know what you need to do, if you write it down, the probability of you doing it goes up 80%. That's not a smidgen, that's a huge amount. Okay? So don't be afraid to put it on paper. All right, we've got vision and we got planning. Mike Tyson said everyone has a plan until they get it in the mouth. That's where process control comes in. So I got a cartoon here Guy's in his high rise says, no, Thursday's out. How about never? Is never good for you? If that's you on the other end of that line, that's getting hit in the mouth. What matters is what happens when you hang up. That's where process control kicks in. Process control are tools and events that help keep you working the plan even when, maybe especially when you don't feel like it. The example I like to use is Michael Phelps. I can promise you there were days Michael didn't feel like training or getting in the pool, but he did. And he did to a large extent because he had processes and systems around him that made it easier for him to get in the pool than not get in the pool. That's what you need. Because I don't know if you noticed, but some days you're disciplined, some you're not. What you want are support systems so that even on the days you're not disciplined, the critical things get done. So I want to talk about two things that can really make a difference there. The first is what we call the weekly plan. And what you're seeing are screenshots from our online tools. I'll talk more about those in a moment. But conceptually now you've got this longer term vision, you brought it near term, set a 12-week goal that aligns with that, and you built out a tactical plan. What the system does is it takes that tactical plan and takes just what's due in this particular week and creates a weekly plan. So in a sense, it's like a 1/12 slice. It doesn't contain everything you do in your job. It doesn't even contain everything in the 12-week plan, just those things in the 12-week plan that are due this week. Now here's the thing. By default, those are the most important things you have this week. Everything else is secondary. Think about that. Because these are the things you said are the most important things to get you where you want to be at the end of 12 weeks, which is aligned with your longer term vision. By default, there's nothing more important than that. That's the tool that you manage your day and week with. I have a clear plastic container. I got my 12-week plan on one side. Every week I pull a weekly plan, put it in there. That's what I'm going to. 20 minutes opens up my calendar. I don't go to my to-do list. I don't go to my voicemail. I go to my weekly plan. Because I know if I got that stuff done, I had a great week. If I got everything else done, even if I wrote a lot of business and I didn't get the stuff done, I lost a week. Now that's a different mindset. But businesses lag. Right? When you don't execute this week, you compromise the future. You with me? Make sense? All right, so greater predictability, greater focus, structured for implementation. Process control, then we've got the weekly plan, which is really that 12-week plan brought near term into daily, weekly action, structured for implementation. And then the second thing is, did you know you are 7 times more likely to be successful if you're involved in peer support? There's an interesting study with heart patients, bypass patients, in fact, that made the cover of Fast Company a number of years ago in an article called Change or Die. If you haven't seen that, you should Google it. But what it looked at were patients that had a bypass surgery, and they looked at that. One, it was very expensive, high relapse, very painful, and for most people, heart disease is controllable by lifestyle. So they started working with these patients, and they found that when patients were literally told by their doctors, if you don't change the way you're living, right, you won't be here 2 or 3 years from now. Right? Now that seems like a pretty big impetus to change. You agree? Right? If you don't do something different, you're toast. The sad part was when they went back a year later and surveyed them, 90% of them had reverted back to their old lifestyle habits. And that's life or death. How much more difficult is it in your business? What they found, though, here's the good news. I don't want to leave you on that. The good news is that when they involved those patients in peer support, meaning they met with 1 or 2 other people once a week for just a few minutes, the success rate was nearly 80%. And we found the same thing in business. If you're willing to meet with a couple peers and keep it honest and keep it real, you'll do better. You'll perform better. So weekly plan and peer support. 2 very simple things. All right, that's process control. So we've got vision, planning, process control. The 4th discipline is scorekeeping. Measurement drives the process. Measurement's the anchor of reality, right? So when we go out to the physical universe, we get feedback on the actions we're taking. Are the actions we're taking having the impact we thought they would? And yet, a lot of people tend to shy away from measuring.
It is a pleasure.
Okay. All right. So hopefully you understand that a little bit more. I loved what he said. He said, let's be greater at a few things instead of being mediocre in a lot of things. And what happens is we overwhelm ourselves with so many things that we want to do out of life, right? We overwhelm ourselves. So we we half-ass a lot of shit, right? Excuse my French. We tend to half-ass a lot of things because we want to do so much, so fast, and nothing gets done 100%. So let's focus on just few things in each of the 4 quarters of the 2018 year, all right, guys? And I want you guys to write these down, and I have a little challenge for you all, okay? I want you to have 3 goals for the first 12 weeks. The first would be a business goal, okay? And then the second one is going to be a health or self-care goal, okay? And then the third goal is going to be personal relationships, whether it be with your siblings, your best friend, your significant other, your children, anything that you feel that you're lacking in your personal relationships and you know you could be doing better in that area, make that a priority as well, guys. Because if we don't take care of the house, if we don't take care of our heart, if we don't take care of our personal relationships, then what would it mean if you had success in this business if everything else sucks and lacks? It won't mean anything. All right, guys, so I want you to think about 3 goals. Sleep on it. You don't have to, have those goals set right now. Sleep on it. Think about it. And then have like subcategories, right? So for your business, that first goal for your business, whatever it is that you want to do, subcategorize that. What is it going to take for this to happen, right? And list a few things there. Same thing for that second goal, same thing for that third goal. And like I said, I'm going to share that PDF with you guys. Let me see if I can find it really quick so that you can just take a look, see at what I have here. It's in my drive. Let me try to share that with you. Okay, here it is. All right, so it's a 12-week year participant workbook. Can you guys see this? Yeah, okay, so here it is. You print this out and you can just fill in the blanks. As you read or listen to the audio, you're gonna understand what category is, what subcategory is. You're gonna understand the tactics. You'll understand how to set these goals, okay? Let me stop this because you'll actually get a copy of this. And then here's the challenge that I have for you guys. I want everybody to go live inside of our Empowered to Change group page and share your 3 goals for the first 12 weeks, okay? So I'm not gonna tell you what my goals are, because I'm going to share that live. And you guys, if you have never gone live yet and you're afraid of going live, I think doing it with us inside of the team page is a safety net. All right, it's a safe zone. It's a place where you can actually practice. And if you F up, who cares? It's us. You're sharing it with us. But I feel like putting it out there and having those goals come from your mouth, not just writing it down, it's coming from, you're putting it into the world, okay? And you know what the universe is gonna do for you? It's gonna make it happen. The universe will make it happen, okay, if you put it out there. And if you reach one of those 3 goals in that first quarter, and then you reach 2 of your 3 goals in the second quarter, and then you reach all 3 goals in the third quarter, and then you reach all 4 goals in the last quarter, guys, your business is going to explode. Your personal relationships are going to excel. Your health, everything that you want is going to be amazing. All right? So I hope you guys are as excited as I am about this. And I'll be the first to share. I'm going to share right away in the team page. I'll go live. And then you guys can follow suit, okay? Take the weekend to think about this. Think long and hard, okay? And I'm looking forward to hearing from you all. Thanks for hopping on, guys.
But did you know that these exquisite eggs were once served in sauce?